Hello everyone and welcome to Lords of the Fallen. Yes, this has been long awaited, and yes, I have had some hands-on time at the beginning of the game when it was released just yesterday. So I've played a bit, I've defeated the first boss, and I was on my way to defeating the second boss, and then I decided that I think I understand the controls well enough, at least a little bit well enough, to actually start recording now, and let's have our first playthrough together. Just a few disclaimers before we begin. I do not know all the secrets, and I did not read up any game facts about this game. I'm just trying to make it as fresh as possible, so if I miss out on a lot of things, well, forgive me. There'll be another playthrough for that. Like they said, you can go up to New Game Plus 3. I hope one day in the future we'll get there, keeping our fingers crossed. And on some other notes, channel related, thank you for your patience for waiting for so long. I will be resuming uploading almost on a regular basis. This is Lords of the Fallen. You should still see some more Evil Within. You should still see some more Final Fantasy and some Dark Souls coming up soon. But besides that, I'm really excited about the game. I've played the game. I now know what the game has in store. And yes, it's not a game I would give 90%, but it's definitely a game worth playing. I believe it's quite fine for me. And we will compare it with Dark Souls 2 as we continue playing that playthrough of the Hex build. So let's get started. Fingers crossed. Okay, so on our first major screen here, we're greeted with what types of magic we're going to use. There's brawling type magic, which has a prayer first of all, which will summon a clone in a vicinity, right? And this clone taunts the enemies, and the enemies are drawn to attack it. It has a specific life bar, and if you stand by that near that clone, you will get healed. Rage, a surrounding force that gives more damage, attack power, and removes energy restrictions, so it buffs yourself within this particular force. Quake, your most powerful ally, coming down to help you and slam your enemies with the giant hammer, wreaking havoc. That's an AoE attack. Ram, a powerful charging force that apart from damaging can stagger and knock down enemies. So this is what you'll use to break people's poise. Deception is the rogue style magic. It also has a prayer, and the clone will still aggro all enemy units. Instead of healing your health though, it will increase your energy recovery. Second spell is Shift, and Harkyn moves into a shadow dimension. Any attack he deals is devastating but will bring him back into view. So it's a stealth attack with a critical at the end. Stab, a blood-seeking supernatural assassin that sprints towards its prey to severely damage or take its life. So you summon, it's a projectile in the sense that you would summon the shadow, it will run up and stab whoever and deal damage or take its life and kill it and give it to you. And then Mimic, a phase of magic following you, copying your moves and repeating the damage you've done. This is similar to the doppelganger style in Devil May Cry, in which you'll have a shadow mirroring all your attacks for double damage, which I actually think is powerful and I want to try out in this particular playthrough, even though I am tempted to go for Solace. Solace has a prayer that instead of healing your energy will heal your magic power, and it will still draw aggro from enemies. Shelter, protective shell that highly increases all types of defense and mirrors the incoming damage. This is similar to a blade mail effect in the sense that you tank up, you have higher defense, and anyone who hits you will have that same damage dealt back to them, but you receive it at a reduced amount. And Daze, a powerful force that inflicts fear upon enemies, slowing them down and lowering defenses. This is similar to a rendition of Tranquil Walk of Peace, if you are familiar with Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, in the sense that you cast it and enemies in a certain vicinity are slowed to a walk. But in this case, their defenses are also lowered, besides the fact that they can't run away from you. So that's actually a very powerful spell. If I don't go for Solace, definitely in New Game Plus I will take Solace, as these spells seem powerful, especially with the rogue style magic. Punishment, an eye for an eye, enemies' attacks being revenged by stunning the opponent. So if the opponent attacks you, then 100% it will get stunned for doing so, but you will take the full amount of damage. But you could you could think of a situation by where you use shelter to increase your physical defenses, and you mirror the enemy's attack to itself, and then you use the punishment spell, and then every time it attacks you, it takes the same damage, and then it gets stunned. So that's really powerful. But for now, we'll go on to Deception. I think we'll start with Deception. I don't know whether this will be a good choice or not. I hope it will be a good choice, but here we go. Deception. And then we're gonna start. We have 3 classes to choose from. We have the warrior type with the high armor, high defense, slowest movement speed, I would say, but highest damage output and highest defense. Let's see. It's got 8 poise, so it's got the highest amount of poise, highest amount of weight. Doesn't have the highest amount of physical damage, that was my mistake. But has the highest amount of defense on the shield. And then you have the cleric, which has the medium stats in terms of defense and power, but has the highest physical damage with this weapon. And then you have the rogue with the lightest armor, lightest equip burden, fastest movements, least damage. So that's what we're gonna go for now. And this is gonna be our choice. This is just the standard classic rogue.
Fallen God, creator and destroyer of worlds, hear my vow. Hear my vow. My vow of defiance.
The monastery's ahead. I wonder if it is still safe.
Either way, our quest for Antanas nears a conclusion.
I hope he's worth all the men we've lost on our way here.
We made it. Let's get to work. It's quiet. Too quiet. Even for a monastery. Hold on.
Okay, so we're greeted with the basics of combat, and we're given actually a button tutorial. And just for those who want to know, I am playing on a keyboard, no joystick here, or controller or gamepad. So we're being told that middle mouse buttons to lock on, right mouse button to block, and left mouse button to hit. So the button configuration, from what I felt, is a bit awkward on the keyboard, but I have to admit that the how can I say this? It feels similar to what Dark Souls felt like on PC. So if you've already been playing on PC, it shouldn't be that much of a problem, but to me it's not that much of an issue. But for newer players, I could understand them having some difficulty understanding the controls. But it does feel very Dark Souls like. You do have a roll, you do have a block, but you can't block and start running like you used to do in Dark Souls. You can only run and then press the block button. But that's a shield bash. You can parry, you can attack normally with light attacks, you can attack with slow attacks, and you can two-hand your weapons and attack with your right hand or attack with your left hand. And of course you can have heavy attacks as well. What else of interest could we talk about? Of course, if you just tap the roll button without a direction, you do a backstep. But unlike Dark Souls, you can't do a backstep then attack or backstep then riposte. You can only just backstep. There are rolling attacks like that, and there are dashing attacks with the heavy button, the heavy attack button. Yeah, and you can do that, of course, whether you're two-handing your weapon or dual-wielding. That's not really much of a problem, and the rest, I guess, we will discover as we go along.
It's locked.
So far, I've seen only corpses, no survivors.
The Rogar have clearly breached the walls of the monastery, and Tanis would have given his life to protect his people. If he is alive, then some of them might have survived too.
The man we're looking for. How will we find him?
He's the leader of all humanity. If we find his guards, we'll find him.
You're still losing blood, Kaslo. The Rogar got you good.
I didn't let you out of prison to worry about me.
You're no use to me if you bleed to death.
I will try to spare you the inconvenience of my death.
There must be some way to open this door.
A switch, perhaps? Or a key?
Okay, so our main goal now is to find the key or switch to that door. Let's get this audio log here just to get some lore as to what's happening with all these deaths.
These things keep coming. We fight back, but there are too many of them. It is sickening to see them move. Their limbs twist and turn in ways they're not supposed to. And their smell. Fire and death creeping out their nose. Each creature they were fighting spat on us. The saliva hit my eye. It burned. And it burns deeper into me.
What I had performed in this room was actually a parry into a riposte. It is possible in this game, of course, like I had said. But the timing window is way different from what it is in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, you kind of have to get the beast at the end of the swing, but in this game, you kind of have to get it in the beginning. Let's see if we can try get a backstab on this opponent. Yep, and that's a backstab. So there is elements of stealth in the sense that you can walk slowly to the opponent, but it doesn't get more in-depth than that. Of course, sight and sound are still implemented as well.
And it is changing me, my skull. The bones are moving, growing. It does not feel like poison in my veins, more like liquid darkness. We have seen with others what happens next. Eyesight goes first, then follows sanity. Brother William, Brother Peter and I won't let the disease take us. We will choose death before it chooses us.
So apparently these... Okay, this empty bottle should increase our number of potions that we can, but we can only get the extra potion if we rest at a checkpoint, so we can't really utilize that at the current moment. As I was about to say, that it seems that this infection is spreading, and also it is spread through contact with the infested. So these priests have been saying that they've encountered different situations whereby they have been either spat on or attacked by these monsters.
Dear Father, the fires on the horizon, they are spreading towards our village. I beg you, be careful. Something evil is happening. I can feel that. You can always seek refuge here, in the monastery. Whatever happens, Antanas can save us. Please, please, be safe.
Okay, as I was saying, so through bodily fluids, through attacks, they are being infected and slowly turned into these monsters. The giant key is the quest item we were looking for, and we can return to Kaslo now. But before we do that, let's just go up here and encounter a very, very big enemy. Let's try get him onto flat ground and see if we can parry him. Oh, that was a big mistake. Let's heal and try parry again. There we go. So I guess, unlike Dark Souls, I felt that unlike Dark Souls, the rule in parrying in Dark Souls was that usually if the enemy is humanoid and has a certain, how can I say this? Okay, that's first of all, that's the shortcut back to Kaslo over there. But let's go to the lower levels just to see what's there before we continue. In Dark Souls, the rule was that you can only parry a humanoid thing that's at maximum 2 times your size and carries a weapon. But okay, seems like we've already been here. But in the case of this game, I guess it's the same in the sense that if it has no way or a limb of attacking you, you can't parry it. But I think I've parried some things that have just been attacking me with their limbs, not specifically weapons.
I've found a key.
What are you waiting for? Open the door.
I could use some help.
Here, this might be useful.
Okay, so thanks to asking him to support us, we've got some potions now, which should help us in this particular fight. I like how this boss fight starts with a preemptive attack. Some people won't see it coming, but you are able to dodge it. Oh, how was that? Thought I dodged away from it. So here we have to look for some openings. First phase done. He's lost a bit of his armor. Big damage. Second. Oh, almost got him into the at the end of the second phase. I think a rolling attack. There we go. Should achieve that. At this point, he gains AoE damage in a straight line, though. So I guess you can't really call it AoE, but his this attack gets some damage, but we are gonna get some good damage on him. Get him into the last phase. At this point, I would like to hold on to my shield for this spinning attack, because oh my word. Oh, why do I keep on failing so hard? If I die like this, I'll be so angry. Nope, nope, we're gonna live. And that's how we go in for the kill. And that is the death of the first warden.
That one of those lords Kaslo keeps talking about.
The first warden is, of course, one of the lords of the fallen god, and I guess they call it the first warden as it's the first line of defense, or it was the first line of attack. I'm not too sure. Let's take what we got as a reward. We get the Persistence Greatsword and a sealed rune. The Persistence Greatsword, of course, is the sword that the enemy was using, but we don't have the strength requirement to use it. These Maga daggers, Scream, and I guess Thick are weapons for pre-ordering the game. So if you see these and you might not have them, that's the reason why. So I'll still use these Maga daggers. And of course we did get Courage, which is an armor set that we get for pre-ordering the game. So if you notice that too, don't be shocked. Maybe you get it at some point in the game, but I start with it. Let's return back to the rogue armor just for now. We need to be nimble and fast on our feet. As you can see, this is the checkpoint. I'll talk about the checkpoint system, but just before I go there, I would like to hold on a second. Okay, let's go here. The experience you earn for defeating enemies remains with you until you decide to store it or die. The more you carry, the higher rewards drop from fallen foes. So that's the multiplier. If you keep on killing enemies and not coming to a checkpoint and not banking experience, your multiplier for each kill will increase, giving you more experience. Still, you don't want to lose what you currently have. Bank it in the save shards like this one. It prevents the loss upon death, but also resets your drop rate modifier, so it's a trade-off. Storing the experience at save shards gets you attribute and spell points. Hold either M to store experience towards spells or F to store it towards attributes. You can do it by opening the character development screen when close to the save shard. Escape if you don't want to bank your experience now, otherwise I to try it out. So, not now. I believe I don't need to. I had just wanted to return out. I just wanted to go outside of this room, but it seems like I've lost my bearings as to where the door is. The door's over here. I think I forgot one particular chest in the beginning. I'm not too sure. I still remember there being a chest in one room. Maybe I'm just drunk. I think I could be drunk. Or maybe I've already got what I thought I needed to get. Oh no, actually this is what I wanted. As we came here before, it wasn't activated, but now since we defeated a powerful foe, i.e. the first warden of this area, we're able to traverse into this particular portal. In some cases you'll have to fight enemies in this portal before getting the reward, but in this first case you just have to collect your items and leave. There's no particular danger. We get some shards and a sealed rune. We get a ghost merge shard and a bulwark shield. A bulwark shield. It's a kite shield, a big shield. And a faithful disciple, a ring, and another empty bottle we can use. So rings are extra equipment. In this case, this ring, an acolyte's paraphernalia, it's used common within the ancient group of Northern Freyrs. It is believed the amulet regenerates their spellcraft powers, so it will help us regenerate that. And then after that, we can simply leave. Like I said, in this particular case, there's no actual challenge, it's just a reward for... The challenge was defeating the boss in this case, which was a fair enough challenge. I have watched videos of some people starting the game, and many people have struggled with this game. I think the game is difficult in some points, but not at the current moment for me. As you can see, our multiplier has scaled up to 1.6 times the multiplier, the amount of experience per kill. Let's try get it up until the second checkpoint. As if we die, we always just start here anyway, so it wouldn't really benefit us a lot to use up our experience. There has been a joke going around about this game saying, as tough as the game may seem, the hardest boss in the game is Lords of the Fallen.exe. I'll explain it after this. Control for me is to walk, and it's telling us that we can walk silently. And it's telling us we can get a backstab if we creep up and attack. Our multiplier is now 1.8. Get another sealed rune. There is a crafting mechanic in this game. And we'll use these runes later on to craft items, and we can inscribe some weapons with runes. Here's another audio log we can listen to.
Soon after banishing the god, the three men that were known as the Judges parted ways forever. Apart from their common goal, they were very different in every possible way. 3 statues were built for them on the square of the Judges, displaying the distinct paths they had taken. These statues hold a secret, as if it were their heart, but it is retained by the stone. Only the Shard of Heroes could make that heartbeat. and only an unearthly force could tear it out.
And that was a failed parry for anyone who wants to know. Let's try not fail again. Oh, I think we're failing again. Okay, let me not kill myself so easily. Easy rolling attack, getting our multiplier up to 1.35. I think we should be nearing the actual checkpoint I would like to save at and end this video. I don't want to stretch it up for too long. But I hope that I have explained to you guys, or at least shown you the introduction of this game and how it is. And for those of you who've noticed that every time I attack, sometimes you get this ping sound, that's the perfect timing system or the combo system of the game. If you get certain weapons have certain combos, but overall the perfect timing system is just supposed to help you retain your stamina. If you get the attack, you use up less stamina for consequent attacks that are in the perfect timing zone. So also, if your weapon or your weapon set has a combo, you'll initiate a combo depending on which hand you use to strike first. So that's the first right-handed attack. Still the same for the left hand, and you can do it with heavy-handed attacks as well. So that's the perfect timing secret for, or perfect timing attack system for those of you who didn't know.
We can't stand against such forces much longer. We must find a place to hide. A place with walls and soldiers, mighty Antanas. We will be on our way. Please prepare for a few dozen refugees.
Okay, so I've opened up this door. And of course you can jump by sprinting and rolling.
What exactly were the Lords? They wielded power beyond our understanding. They fought fiercely. They blindly followed the God. We failed. The Lords did not come for discussion. They came to serve their purpose. To lead the Rogar army against the humans.
We have managed to obtain the cleric set. I feel that the starting classes in this case don't really have that much of an importance in the sense of what armor and roll speed you're gonna use out throughout the game. They let you choose your class, then they give you the options to switch up. So maybe if I started with the warrior and then I got the rogue set, they'll be like, oh, you know, just in case you weren't liking the rogue set, here's some more armor to help you out in the game. So the only thing that matters with the starting classes is which weapons and shield you start with, in essence. Okay, this is the checkpoint I'd like to rest at and end the video in. Before we do that though, let me just equip this mask and these gloves. Let's check the roll speed on that. Okay, we're still fast. Right, so thank you for... Wait, before I head off, I might as well show you the experience and banking system. I might as well use it now. Let's go into our inventory. So this is the character development screen. We are shown our attributes and we're shown our level. We're Harkyn at level 10. We have our stats and everything we have. Also the current type of magic we have, which is prayer for deception. We don't have solace, we don't have brawling, and once you pick a magic path, you cannot deviate from it in this particular playthrough. We can't get any of these other magic styles until the consequent New Game Plus or New Game Plus Plus, in whichever case. So as you can see here, we have spell points which we can use to upgrade our prayer, mimic, stab, or shift, or we have attribute points that we can pump into our attributes. So personally, in the beginning, I would like to pump my points into attributes. So for example, let's use up the experience we have. We come here and I would assume, let's see, bank experience into AP. That's F for me. So we have 4 attribute points and the leftover 365 experience. You can literally just leave the menu right now, and I don't have any experience on myself. If I die, my ghost has nothing on it. Or I can return here and find these 4 attribute points that I left behind so long ago. It doesn't matter what time you return. And then these attribute points you can now use to put into strength. Strength increases the damage of strength weapons. Affects not only the damage dealt with strength strength-based weapons, but also slightly increases your ability to carry heavier gear. So it increases your equip burden and your damage for strength weapons. Vitality is your health, determines the amount of your health. It also has a slight increase on health potion effectiveness as you level it up. Faith increases the amount of magic you can use with spells and the gauntlet. It also boosts the damage of magical weapons. Endurance affects the amount of energy you have and significantly increases the ability to carry heavier gear as well. So that's your equip load and your energy. Energy being your stamina, of course. Agility boosts the damage dealt with fast weapons or agility based weapons, but also gives you a slight increase in energy or stamina, in other words. And luck, you will need more luck to get better rewards for killing opponents, but it also helps you get better crafting materials. So your luck is pretty much your item find. And item find being a stat, personally, I also don't agree with. It used to be something implemented in old JRPG games like Final Fantasy VII. I didn't like that stuff. I believe that you can either increase item find by challenging yourself, like kill this enemy in a certain way like they do with the bosses and you can get a special item, or use certain, like in Dark Souls, you use human effigies to restore your human form, increase your resistances, right? But if you use more on yourself, you increase your item find, but if you die, you risk losing them all. So that increases your difficulty of the game in the sense that you need to retain all this humanity you've invested in yourself. It's just an item, it's a precious item, but it has nothing to do with your stats. Luck being a stat for me is just a waste of points, because I believe that your damage and vitality come first and your ability to be effective comes first as compared to your luck. It's just something I hate the most in most RPG games. But anyway, for now, let's just get up to 9 strength to be able to use one particular axe we will get soon. And then let's pump the rest into agility, which will give us 14 agility. So yeah, let's do that for now and accept. There we go. Now we have 9 agility and 14 agility and 9 strength. Let's get back. So let's use this. When you use it, the shards fall off, and to indicate that you've used it, and it will not, I believe it will not restore the full amount of your potions next time you come back to it. So let's see if we can, I was about to say let's see if we can get a parry, but then I wasn't even carrying a shield at the time. So thanks for watching, guys, and this is pretty much the introduction part of Lords of the Fallen. I kind of like the game, and I believe that it was worth the time and it was worth the wait. So for those of you who are not sure as to buy it or not, I believe get the game, is really good. And I'll see you again next time. Maybe some more Evil Within coming soon. Thanks for watching.